Suna's day, Sunday. Well, project today, we're gonna get this older sliding glass door out and install the new. I'll show you the new one right now. Let's get it shaking. Here we go, here's our new one. New Anderson door. All painted up and sealed. It's got a cool aluminum saddle on it. Or aluminium for you Europeans, chemists. All right, start getting the old one out and prepping it and get the new one in. See the old track down, how much fucking water it held on to and everything everywhere. Look at all that. That's yesterday's enjoyment. We had a lot of rain yesterday, so we don't have any in the force. That's always a leak. Just this random screw inside the frame or inside the saddle. It's always dumb. So obviously this trim is going to be garbage. All this trim around once we get this frame out. I would have liked to have left it, but I don't think it's gonna work out that way because life's never that fair. But it's okay. New stuff's better than putting back in the old shit, right? And they kind of just piecemealed it in. Like if you're gonna add a piece, it shouldn't overlay because that's just water getting in eventually. If anything, it should be under, so this one will drip over and run down. You can see the crack that forms when you do stuff like that. So that's just another introduced leak. Whatever. We'll get this bad boy taken out. I'm gonna take it out as gingerly as I can. I don't want to destroy everything, but it's all gonna be new anyway. And again, I'm gonna put from here over, it's gonna be 2x10. It's gonna be a big block. And then I'll put a jam and trim. I just overlaid the sheetrock so I can get my sheetrock on. You know, kind of just getting it done the way I can. All right, let's continue. Fucking sheetrock screws. Why, people, why? Kind of hard back there, huh? You can see now just how much water was getting in over the years. A lot. Look at that. It's all wet. It's all dry rot. Well, wet, dry makes rot, right? And you can see, put like a fucking gallon of silicone and it didn't do much, did it? Oh, except hold it on the frame. It's even ripping the frame off. Yeah. Guess we'll be putting new wood down there too, to be expected. Alrighty, folks. Quick trip to the depot, got some more supplies. You can see now, that's the framing for the floor, and there was a little seal with the stucco and the concrete the wood was sitting on. So we're gonna replace it with the 2x6, but pressure treated. So in the future, when water does get back in 20 years down the road, it won't rot away like the one that just happened. And it's gonna be completely sealed, so no chemicals will leach in the house from anything. So, but everything looks pretty solid down here, which is nice. So the leak, where it was going, it was just working its way, because this is all solid material still, so that's good. We'll have a nice solid surface to screw to. We'll get these sideboards off. This one already just basically shredded the pieces, all the silicone. Check this out. On the side of the door. All the silicone just peeled it right off. It's hilarious. They just really bloop, bloop, bloop right in there. I mean, it did its job, but it means very little when all these seams pop and all the water just gets in. It works its way past and comes out here and right into the wood. Plus these little weeping holes. You can see the evidence of the rust and water coming through. It's just always a bad design. Whatever, it'll be new and nice now. Let's get to it. Now, I don't understand why they didn't fasten that board to this nice masonry. I'm gonna have to put the new board to the wood, obviously, and then put some tap cone screws to the masonry, as it should be. And I'm gonna have to do stucco repair, which is what it is. And I guess fix that. Great googly moogly. Now I wanna show you one thing, if I may. Listen to this. Solid. You hear the hollow? So most likely all of this is going to be popped off later. It's all hollow here, so the water was getting in and soaking up into the masonry, working down into the stone, and it popped off with, you know, freeze and thaw. Popped off the stucco. That's why this is opening up again, because it's not really connected. So we're gonna have to fix that after the door's in. Obviously we'll start touching up that so it's tight as a frog's ass, as they say. And if you know how tight a frog's ass is, well, watertight, my friend. We'll make it watertight. Let's get to it. So one thing that's pretty important here, dimensional lumber these days is fucking all over the charts. So again, this is pressure treated 2x6. It's like 5 5/8, just a ass hair over. Now what we took out was about 5 1/4. So we're gonna break out all this old little groove they made with stucco mix, because it's just never gonna work. I could rip this down and shove it in there, but this shit's got to come out anyway, because as you can see, it's just not very great. So we're gonna crumble it out. We'll back it in later. It's not the end of the world. Let's do it. See how when you fill concrete, it's never really connected to the other stuff? I mean, right away it is, but over time it just freeze thaw and just pops right off. You can see all the moisture under it too. It was getting in here, working behind the stucco like I thought, and popping it off. Now, we got almost 6. We got 5 7/8, so we can easily fit our board in here. Another thing you don't ever really want to do, this is pressure treated, so it's a little different, but it still applies, or it's still applicable. You don't ever want to put concrete where it's going to touch the wood. Because the thing about concrete, it's never dry, even though it looks it, it's always sucking in the moisture around it. So that's where you get rotting in wood, even if there's no water present. It'll keep sucking the moisture out of the wood and give it that dry rot, like what happened. I mean, it was a mixture of the dry rot with the actual rot from the water coming in, because you can see water stains everywhere. So I'll put down a little felt or something first, most likely. You can use a plastic bag, it really doesn't matter. Just separate the wood from the concrete, and then you won't have issues with your rotting. It's another reason I'm using the green board for a seal plate, because this shit does not rot the way normal wood will. It's loaded with chemicals. It's been sitting in a lake of death for however long, soaking up chemicals. So when that goes down on this surface, there's really no issues. And it's 3 times as heavier, so it's way more dense than the average Douglas fir we use, or spruce, whatever. All right, let's clean this shit up. All right, here's your seal plate in. Let me show you something that they did not do. Watch this. You see how high this is here? See how there's no support there? That's how they left it. Obviously, I'm not going to do that, so I have to measure how much it's going to be, make sure it's low, because the concrete obviously is not going anywhere, so the masonry. So I'm going to shim it up where that wood is down there. Got a big old couple packs of shims. Professional contractor, whatever the hell that means. So we'll shim it up before we screw it down. And I'm gonna put deck screws on this side. I'm gonna put tap column masonry screws on this side. So this is, you really, really, really want a solid seal or base for any door, any window, because that's where weight is added. In the Northeast, we put air conditioners in our windows, so it always destroys the bottom of the windows. You see that cage around it, so the AC can go there. And the doors, everyone always steps on the threshold. They never walk over it. So you really don't want this to have give, because the more give it has, the more over time it's just going to cave in and pop the seams. You don't want that. So you really want a solid base. So anytime somebody steps on it, these seams will stay together as long as they possibly can. So we'll take that back up and do it right. Another important thing, you want it level. If your door's gonna rest on it, it better be level, folks, because you don't want water to work into one corner more than the other. You want it to be even, so it wants to come out this way. All right, I had to cut back this stucco to get that board in, obviously. Shimmed out. All new wood, good to go. Had to notch because this is obviously higher, no big deal. This will be trimmed out later just to add a shoe molding or something. And that top piece of trim will come off now because it's just not gonna work. No worries, I'll box it out with something nicer. Let's get this door in, shall we? Oh, what a nice fit. think, y'all? Is that a good fit? I think so. Looks pretty fucking good. What I'm gonna do up here, I'm gonna have 1x. I'm just gonna bring it down and cover this edge right over to here. I got some little trim. Maybe I'll change this to 1x as well, so it's all looking the same. It'll come over and then silicone. So this edge is always behind solid painted good wood. And there's no issues. That puppy's heavy by herself. I had to take one paint out, obviously, because good luck doing that. Sweet, loving it. Let's get this screwed in and get the other door in so secure for the night. When you're doing locks, always use your hand screwdrivers. If you break that screw, you're fucked. And line up your damn screws, you lazy bastards. It looks so much nicer when your screws are whoosh, straight, perfect looking. Also, if you need more than one hand to shut the door, it's not installed properly. It should be effortless. It'll wear in a little bit more, they always do. For all you people who are not locksmiths, this is called a mortise lock. It goes in the frame, in a little pocket. Pretty sweet. And this should be the dead latch. So when this is depressed, you'll never be able to unlock it. Unless that's pressed, it won't lock. It's pretty good, so you never get locked out. It'll never go all the way. Now, if your lock starts like it's locking, it's not supposed to, take your screws and back them out, quarter turn, because the dead latch, now the dead latch is shot out. That's how it's supposed to be. There you go. Now it won't do it. Perfect. So always test it, you know? Now, this is the strike for the frame. Pretty heavy duty. These are the kind of screws you'll want to see for your frame. Bam. They give you some half-ass shit, don't use it. Somebody tries to crowbar your door. I mean, it's a fucking glass door. They want to get in, they're gonna get in, but plus they have to jump up. That's kind of on a ledge. So realistically, See this right here, this hole? Oop, this hole right here? That's for that bad boy. It's hidden in the frame. Then you always put a shim back here, because when you rack that bad boy in, it's going to jack your frame. I already have shims for these screws and everything, but now put it on loose and all the way down. Shut your door. Get it locked. Typically that's a good alignment, but there's nothing in life that's going to be perfect, so you're going to have to play with it a little bit. Wow, I don't like that at all. There's a huge gap in that door. Interesting. Ah. I think I'm looking at this wrong. See that little set screw there? It pushes this little plate in and out. Obviously, we gotta go way back with it. That's better. Still a little daylight at the bottom. See that? So I'm gonna have to check the adjustments on the door, see how off it is. The reveal looks pretty damn even. We'll see. Anyway. As long as it locks for her. For tonight, tomorrow I'll come back and button this up. Get it all set right the way she's supposed to be. Gotta figure out how I'm gonna close this up again. Because you see these holes? These are the weeping holes. All the water catching this track and it's supposed to come out right here and come on out. Now we have to make this, so this is, I'll probably bring the door out more. I'm just screwing it in now so it's safe. I'll bring it out more so this lip is always on the outside of everything I'm gonna do here, trim, whatever I'm gonna do. Probably this is all gonna be stucco, but whatever. You want that drip line right there to be further out. So we'll make it happen tomorrow. This is pretty much for today. It's nice and safe now. See you in the next one. Bye.